Okay, I'm back. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this come back and deal with the third one here, but I'm right now just sort of still trying to gauge the first layer being getting slightly darker as I go down. So this is slightly darker than that. That I'm squinting, maybe overall a little darker, but I think I'm going to make this ever so slightly darker, and this one a touch darker, and then this one darker. So let's see, this one was the ultramarine blue. And yeah, don't want to get a whole lot darker than that. So let's see. That's not any darker than that. So go get a little bit more paint. A little more concentrated. And this can be hard to gauge because, especially for watercolor, it's going to dry slightly different. I do know it's going to get darker over here eventually. That's good for that one. Let's see, I'll mix in some, I'll do a touch darker of the ultramarine and violet. Maybe one skosh darker. One of the reasons I think doing these studies is really helpful is that it really sort of gets you thinking about what you're going to do with any individual shape, object that you happen to be painting. And to me, the most interesting things that are going on is playing with value. Things are getting darker or getting lighter and slightly shifting in color. This one from greenish blue to reddish blue to purple to grayed out dark purple. And there's temperature change going on in there as well. It's okay for now to keep moving here. Let's see, this one, I'm not sure. It does seem like sometimes I'm happy with my indigo washes and sometimes not. Let's see. I'm going to try to go a decent amount darker. Keep going back and refilling your brush. Keep overlapping. And even when I'm trying to, being really careful with my brush stroke like that, there's a tendency to, if you're focused on it and have more intention and it's a little bit more worried about it, that you can press down. Just press down too hard, so I think it helps to try to resist that, because then it'll start getting streaky. Nice. Let's see. Perhaps I will come back and do the second and third column of the mix blue. It's always a little bit tricky trying to gauge which one to do next, because you do want to have a good idea of being able to compare one thing to another. But things are drying differently, and so that can add some confusion. But I try not to get myself too confused. So let's see, I'm going to come back and, I don't know that I really know where my line is. I'm going to say something like that. That'd be a little too dark right there. That's good for that one. I'm going to come back and do the darker still peacock on the third one up there. And let's see, which brush do I want to use? Oh, I guess I'll just stay with this one I have here. But now I'm going to mix up some fairly concentrated peacock blue. I'm not trying to go as dark as I know peacock blue can go. One thing I haven't really been doing that I am going to do here is as I sort of feed in a little bit to the area of the shape that I've already painted, I'm also going to come back and grab a tiny bit more paint in my brush just to make it ever so slightly more concentrated. That was a little too much concentrated. But then I'm going to dab in a little bit of paint over to the left side of the swatch. That was a little darker than I had meant, but that's going to just start making a little bit of a graded feel and kind of exaggerating the color change. There's a very cool optical illusion effect that happens naturally like this that I always forget the name of. But I'll probably go back and do a little bit of that for these other ones too. In fact, let's do it for this one. Did I just paint you? Are you dry? Let's see, I am gonna, no, I don't think you are quite dry. So, I'll be back. I'm gonna dry it.